Hello. Thanks for everyone to be here. And today I will talk about OpenStack OSprofiler and CNCF OpenTracing. And first thing first, and I am Vĩnh from Fujitsu. And in this present, I will talk about OSprofiler tracing in OpenStack and OpenTracing and OpenTracing API. And in the last of this presentation, we will have a small demo with OSprofiler and Uber Jacket tracing. And in this talk, I will not talk about how to use OSprofiler step by step or OSprofiler architecture and elements. All of these things you can find in the talk from Boston Summit of 15. Yeah, it's showing up here. And in this talk, there are something that we will talk about. About OSprofiler, for short, I think it's just a small library for distributed tracing in OpenStack service. And this is a small representation of a very, very simple command, OpenStack image list. And in this, you can see that there are a timestamp or some service that the request is passing by. And OSprofiler quick overview, you can see that OSprofiler can trace and categorize WSGI, RPC, and DB codes. And a trace can contain a code hierarchy, time span in each service or methods, the information about the project and services, and some information about logging and debugging information. And otherwise, OSprofiler can generate a trace for an API request and generate trace report in HTML, JSON, and DOS format, and some other formats too. And OSprofiler trace can be stored in MongoDB, Redis, Elasticsearch, Log Insight, Celemeter, and soon we will support Monascal Log API, and of course, OpenTracing compatible tracing solution will be supported too. And you remember this image, and this is another way to present that's the code of the simple command. And in one trace point in OSprofiler, we have some information. Yeah. In this is a little bit smaller. So you can see that we have the name of the project, the name of the service, and some information about that trace point, such as a timestamp, the request path, and method, or some other query information here. And so another question is that why we have the tracing in OpenStack? And there's two main questions that I think I will put here. And the first one is how to find the root cause and performance issue in an API request spanning in multiple services in multiple hosts. And another question is how to benchmark different driver or tool and identify the performance bottleneck. And we might think about some existing solutions such as logging, monitoring, and profiling. However, these things maybe not fit into our scale and may not scale well. And sometimes we just care about the workflow of a service, and tracing can be an additional tool for us beside these solutions above. And what will tracing have us? Of course, as I talked earlier, tracing will help us to identify the performance, latency, and do some kind of optimization here. And another thing that tracing will help us is root cause analysis where error occurs. And another is that distributes the transaction monitoring and services dependency analysis. However, in OpenStack, OSprofiler still have some issue. That HTML output from OSprofiler is very poor, and you can see in the demo later. And we cannot browse more than one trace at a time, and they're a little bit lag with large trace such as 100 megabyte, and lack of client server or paging model for retrieve trace data. And yeah, lack of some essential feature for a tracing tool, such as continuous tracing and sampling support strategy, such as heads, tailbait, or adaptive sampling. And yeah, here we come with OpenTracing and OpenTracing API. And there are two questions for we here. The first one is why OpenTracing? Yeah, there are lots of distributed tracing tools out there, such as Zipkin, Aptas, Jagger, or something you can see here. And so this is very hard for us to use and integrate to other services. So the second question is, what is OpenTracing API? And OpenTracing API come here for we to unify the concept and terminology about distributed tracing, such as tracer, span, and span context. And and it will have other distributed tracing tool to follow the same specification. And when you want to switch to another distributed tracing tool, you can just change a line of the configuration, such as change the name of the tracing tool from Jagger to Aptas, then it will work perfectly. There's two reference approaches down there. You can see if you want more information. So another benefit of making OSprofiler work with OpenTracing API is that we can store trace in many other tracing backends, such as Zipkin, Aptat, or Jagger. And using great UI for browsing and searching and filtering traces, you can see here. And I will demo about this. And the next, I will have a live demo for this tool. I will running OpenStack services as usual, and trace OpenStack client request with OSprofiler and store trace or spans of that request in Uber tracing. Yeah, oh no, I don't think it's work here. Yeah, this is my dev stack deployed with some very basic service. You can see here Neutron, Glance, Nova, and we can run a simple command such as OpenStack image list. And wait a little bit. Yeah, there are one image here with ID and name like this, and the trace ID you can see here. We can push it down there to get the result. In this demo, I use Redis as a backend, and we will have an output HTML file named OSprofiler output here. Yeah. Wait a minute. Ooh, there's something wrong with this. Here, as usual, we show the output here, and look, this is OSprofiler output. You can see the information in this. Awesome. really long command with SQL statement here. And you can see that thread over here too with Jagger chasing. Yeah, the same information but with a different representation. On the information appear here too, and with the DB code, yeah, we have some information about that statement and the DB statement here. Okay, that's my demo. And the last thing I want to talk is in the future, we will not done something like a sampling ability for OSprofiler and support reporting to other driver and compatible with OpenTracing API. And reports can be stored in OpenTracing compatible traces. And thank you. That's all for my talk. If you have any question, you can come